Recently I've been looking at getting myself a new pair of trail running shoes. I've signed up to a number of trail running events this year, ranging all the way from 5Ks up to 50Ks later on in the year, and I need a new pair of shoes. Previously in the past I have tried the likes of Asics Trabucos, which I just didn't get on with, Hoka Speedgoats, which again I just couldn't get on with, and more recently Hoka Challenger 8s, which for the best part I am enjoying, although they are a little bit snug. And what else I'm finding with the Hoka Challengers is the durability of the outsole just isn't that durable. I've started to get some delamination on the heel, which for a shoe that I've only had maybe 2 to 3 months and not put that many miles on isn't the best. So with that being said, I've decided to branch out to a brand I have never tried before other than the hydration vests, and if you haven't guessed it already, judging by the box that's sitting right there, it is Salomon. Now Salomon are a brand that are known all across the trail running world specifically for their hydration vests, but they also do produce some very good shoes. Now the shoes I've decided to go for are the Salomon Ultra Glide 4s. The reason behind the choice of the Salomon Ultra Glide 4s is I have done a little bit of research, watched a few reviews, and it just seems to be a shoe that I feel will do me perfectly for what I have coming up over the next few months. Now in first impressions in taking the shoe out of the box, it is very, very light. I think it weighs 280 grams, which for a trail running shoe is pretty light. And it has this weird wavy outsole, as you can see there, which is commonly found on the S-Lab Ultra Glide, which is their premium version of this shoe. Now looking around the shoe, you do have a pretty chunky stack in the back with 41mm of foam, all the way down to 35 in the forefoot for a 6mm heel to drop offset. You also have some pretty good padding around about the heel and a pretty well padded tongue, which means it's not going to be flopping about as you're running. Looking across the laces, you do have Salomon's quick lace system, however this does appear to be a little bit long, so I may have to shorten that down. Now I've never ran in a pair of Salomon shoes, so I'm excited to see what they're like, and I know the perfect place to go and try them out. So let's get them laced up, let's get out on the trails, and let's see what they're like. Right then, so we're now down at the local woods, which is going to give us a good testing ground for the Salomon Ultra Glides. It is a good mixture of terrain here. You have some hard packed soil, kind of what I'm on just now, down to some really muddy trails further up, so let's get running. Right then, first impressions so far is they are pretty comfy, quite firm underfoot, a lot firmer than the likes of a Hoka or a Saucony. But yeah, pretty good grip, seems to be holding up pretty well. I've run through some pretty wet stuff, my feet are absolutely soaked through right now. But yeah, I have found them quite tight around the midfoot, so I've just had to stop and loosen the laces off a little bit. That could just be me down to tightening them up too much, but yeah, so far so good. This is the part that people don't show you, having to go back to your camera. Right, so just come onto a bit of a hill. I'm not going to run it, I want to see how they are going uphill, especially with this rock, and it's very wet. There's a lot of stream coming down the middle, quite a lot of uneven rock, some branches sticking out, and as you can probably hear, pretty squelchy, but so far so good. The grip's holding up well. I said my feet are pretty wet right from the outset, but that's alright. What you feel is quite good for a trail running shoe. For the foam, you want it to be quite firm, not to be too soft, because when you're going over terrain such as rocks or tree branches, you don't want them to be poking up into your foot. Anyway, we've switched on to a different type of trail now. This is kind of more mud, fallen leaves and branches and that, so should be a good test to see how they do. Right, so now came off of that kind of wet muddy stuff, on to kind of more wet muddy stuff, but this time we're going through a little trail. Again, holding up really well. I still haven't slipped, touch wood, and this is not exactly dry muddy stuff. So far that lug depth is providing quite good traction. One thing I can definitely tell you is I prefer these over my Hoka Challenger 8s, and this is looking like a little bit of a swimming pool right now. Look at this. This is usually bone dry. Well, yep, that's ankle deep, good. I've absolutely no clue where I am, by the way. I think I'm heading back to my car. Yeah, this is the right way. And that is us back at the start. Well, now the end. So, how long did we do?
just under 5k, so a pretty decent distance to test out the shoes, and to be honest with you, they were pretty good. I really did enjoy them, apart from having to loosen the laces at the beginning due to it kind of feeling quite tight over the midfoot. It felt great. Held the traction really well through all the mud. As you've probably seen, I didn't run through some light mud, it was deep, muddy, wet mud. On the kind of hard terrain, felt really comfortable underfoot, nice and firm, not too squishy, not too soft. One thing I would say I'm not a massive fan of is the lacing. The actual quick laces feel good themselves, but the extra length at the end, quite a bad snagging hazard. There is a little pouch underneath the tongue that you can tuck it into, but the top of the laces seem to go over the top of that, so I'm not really sure how we get around that. I've just tucked them underneath the rest of the laces just now. But overall, I think you can conclude it was a pretty muddy and wet run, and the shoes held up really well. I'm really impressed with them. I would say out of 10, probably an 8 out of 10. It was quite a short distance I've done today. I do, however, have a half marathon this weekend, which I'm going to take them with me and try them out, because I do plan on using these for the Grizzly in March and then my ultra marathon at the end of October, to which I might need a new pair by then if I love them that much. This was my very first shoe review, so if you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will bring you some more race vlogs, life updates and kit reviews. See you in the next one.